I am a licensed clinical social worker and have had an interest in incorporating animals in the work that I do. I talked with our village manager and he was up for the challenge of getting a dog and trying to certify it as a therapy dog and use it as part of our human services department team. So Hoover was kind of pre-selected for us to do therapy dog work based on his temperament, and so we picked him up at 8 weeks and the rest is history.
I was lucky enough to be selected as the handler for Charlie, our therapy dog. The police department adopted this yellow lab to create a therapy dog team here at the police department in Mount Prospect, and it's something that we've been seeing police departments all across the nation that have really started doing this, and the intent is to allow us to get out into the community as a team, seeing a friendly dog that's always happy to see everyone, and he truly is. He loves everyone and he loves saying hi to everyone.
So Cupcake, I rescued her in 2011 from Right Way Rescue in Niles, Illinois. In 2017, my dad was in hospice care and had therapy dogs come and visit him. When I saw them doing that, I realized Cupcake would be the perfect therapy dog. So shortly after my dad passed away, Cupcake was certified as a therapy dog and we began visiting patients.
Brooks has been in our family for 9 years. We got him as a puppy. My wife came across an article in the newspaper about a program at the Northwest Community Hospital called the AAT, Animal Assisted Therapy. And it's a team of dogs and handlers that dedicate time every day to sort of walk in the halls of the hospital and visiting patients and staff. My wife thought our Brooks had sort of the right demeanor for the job. The 3 days of training was basically 1 day to test the dog's temperament, just make sure he's sort of built for the job. And the other 2 days are pretty much training for the handler. So obviously we need to be familiar with the hospital setting, the protocol, and proper procedures and so forth.
One of the things that they tested her on was leaving either pills or food, and the lady decided that she was going to heat up in her microwave beef stroganoff and put it in the middle of her kitchen. And Cupcake had to leave the food and not be interested in it. They tested her temperament to make sure that how she does with other dogs and other people, how she did when I left the room, how she does when she leaves the room. So they just kind of test you in all different areas.
He was a very energetic pup. There was a time where I was really nervous that we wouldn't get across the finish line. It took him a while to kind of settle into himself, which is why I chose not to certify him until he was 2 years old. I didn't feel like he was ready before then, but he's phenomenal now.
He spends most of his time at Northwest Community Hospital. We visit patients that have signed up for the program, and we do impromptu visits with other patients and with staff who have pretty much needed the visits as much as the patients do. He's done a few visits at Prospect High School during finals week. They like to bring in a few therapy dogs just to keep the kids, heads on straight and the stress levels low.
Before the pandemic, we were at Journey Care, which is a hospice center. We would go every Saturday and visit the different patients that were there. We've done the Disaster Preparedness Expo. We've done the Citizen Police Academy.
Taking him out to community events, giving everyone the opportunity to meet him. Charlie also helps internally at our police department. Our officers have the opportunity to come and spend a little bit of time with him, to play with him, to pet him, even just to be greeted by that happy dog with his tail waggling everywhere. Just to see the smile on everyone's faces, that brings that little joy.
Hoover comes to work with me typically 3 to 5 days a week. He does his work here in Human Services and at Village Hall. Sometimes that could be a visit to a senior that maybe is dealing with some social isolation. Sometimes it could be a crisis encounter. And sometimes it's just laying in my office interacting with staff. He gets usually a walk every day from Robert Rundell, who's in our IT department. And Robert is great about taking him around Village Hall to interact with all the other employees in the different departments on a regular basis. I think the impact that he has is really around just his ability to connect with people. I think he provides kind of just a calmness when he interacts with people. He helps people to calm down if they're stressed or if they're anxious. He puts a smile on people's faces, just in the work environment when he goes around.
I see a positive impact virtually on every visit we do. He seems to know when to, be very subdued and relaxed, and other times, put on a show.
It's been really nice to see a lot of the events that we've been at. We've seen some of the same people, so they've been able to ask about Cupcake and, what has she been up to. Being able to give them a smile and take their mind off of things, even for a couple minutes, has been amazing to watch and see.
We've only scratched the surface of really what Charlie's going to mean to our community and our police department, and I'm so excited to be able to be a part of that and to be leading that with him. Thankfully, he's doing all the hard work. I just sit back and let him bring everyone big smiles and joy, and I just kind of sit back and I get to soak it all in too. So that's a huge benefit for me as well.
Animals can be a wonderful asset, to our work. I do think for those people that want to engage, it's a huge benefit to the community.